Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith. I appreciate you coming on this evening. My platform is designed to assist high school age and, and young adult males as they follow my basic principles to build their best lives and those issues that society brings. I believe it is better to train early rather than fix later. So, again, thank you, and welcome. I'm super excited today to have my special guest on, Miss DELARESE Allen from Nassau, Bahamas.
Thank you for having me, Deborah. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes. I'm going to tell you a little bit about DELARESE, and then she'll tell you some more about her, more personal. DELARESE Allen was born and raised in and on the beautiful island of Nassau, Bahamas. She is an ordained minister in the Church of God and holds the post of the National Inner Circle Leader. There she serves as the president for the ladies between the ages of 18 to 35 years of age. Her former career path includes a former Defense Force officer, where she served for 14 years, an entrepreneur of Exquisite Zone Barbershop, a mechanical and electrical draftsman, and presently an insurance agent at Family Guardian Financial Center. She is married to Mr. Leonardo Allen Jr. Together they have four beautiful daughters. Miss Allen's hobbies include singing, traveling, swimming, learning new skills, and helping people. So welcome, DELARESE.
Thank you. And just to add to that, I'm also a John Maxwell team member, certified as a coach, trainer, and speaker. I'm a psalmist at heart. I love singing. I love praise and worship. I love authentic praise and worship. I love it. I love it. I love it.
All
And
right.
to one thing I like about the island is I love nature. I love the water. And like we said, I love to swim. So sometimes I'll just go and sit by the beach, hear the birds chime, and I just love nature. I just love to see the creation of God. Love it. That's me.
Great. Well, you are in a beautiful place to love to swim in that beautiful water.
Oh, yes. Lots of sun, sand, and sea.
Yes. Let's see here. Well, good evening to Tamika Copeland, Dan Smith, and Leonardo Allen. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoy this. I know you will. We're going to jump into it. All right, DELARESE, you know we cannot turn on the television without seeing one or more incidents of violence against young men. These incidents may result from law enforcement, someone of another race, the same race, and harming oneself. Do you think we will see a decline in violence anytime soon?
Deborah, seriously, no. I don't think that we'll see a decline in the area of violence against our men or of violence soon, because we have to look at the root problem of the violence, and a lot of it is associated with men being angry, um, men being jealous, men being frustrated, not being able to provide for their family. And the root problem is basically, until the root problem is addressed and the root problem is fixed, we're going to continue to see the violence happening. I always like to use this analogy. We have a problem, and let's use, for example, a tree. We cannot take off the trees, the leaves off of the trees and the branches, and we don't attack the root of the tree if we want that tree to bow or to break. So we have to attack the root of the problem, and we have a lot of men that are angry, a lot of men that are jealous, a lot of men that are unsatisfied, and they just stem out from with the anger. And we could go right back to it from the beginning of time when Cain killed Abel.
Right.
And it's just spiraling and just spiraling and just spiraling. I would really like to say no, but seriously, I don't see anytime soon the violence being stemmed in our nation.
Okay. And unfortunately, I agree with you. I'm on this platform and I'm trying to, do what I can to assist, but it just seems like I say, you can't turn on any type social media or whatever unless you see something that's going on. I mean, just like last week when we had the incident at the Capitol, and the young man just drove into the barricade, and I could not believe it once I saw who it was that did this, and I'm like, okay, oh my goodness, what would make someone just, do something like that?
Right. There are a lot of issues that have to be addressed that will be able to cut and curb the violence that we're seeing. And a lot of it is anger, a lot of it is frustration, a lot of it is bitterness. And what do we do to address those problems? We have to address those problems in order to see a decline in the violence, and also the prayer and covering of our men and of our people. It's very serious.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned prayer. I don't know how many have noticed, but I have started on my website when I post on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday morning at 7, I am asking for everyone to begin to pray for our young men. And
Wow.
I've been targeting different areas. And so this week I'm targeting encouragement. Like you say, a lot of them are jealous, they envious.
Yes.
They want what
They're
someone else
angry.
have, but they don't want to work for it. So,
Oh. And it's just causing the stem of violence. They're angry for whatever reason. If it's something that happened in the family, it's something that happened at work, they're just angry and they're just acting out in violence. And you said something that's very important for us to cover the men in prayer. And if we know if you attack my head, my body is going to crumble. And God made men to be the head. So the enemy is trying his best to always continues to keep our men at war, and men killing men, or our men being killed, or our men being attacked. And this is something that we have to fight spiritually, because physically we won't really be able to win this war against the violence and the attack that's going on. And the biggest weapon we can use is prayer.
yes.
Powerful weapon.
Yes, it is powerful. So I hope everyone can remember that. I mean, pray for them constantly, but especially on Wednesdays, I'm just asking that we have that intercessory prayer going on all over the world for our young men.
I'm going to have to definitely join in with that, because that is very much needed. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. Definitely not. Spiritual wickedness in high places, and we have to combat this with prayer.
Yes.
Powerful weapon.
It's powerful. Yes. Whew, oh my God, hot. Social and special issues impact young men each day. In your opinion, what are some of the weapons that parents can use to minimize avoid some of these threats? And so, of course, when I say weapons, I mean what are those tools that we can use to fight off all these threats and obstacles that are coming against our young men?
Social issues and some of the social issues that we can fight off, the things that are coming against our young men, is simply affirming our young men as parents, giving them, helping them to belong, help them to feel a part of. Because when a young man doesn't feel a part of something, or he feels he has to prove himself, he goes and he finds avenues or different medias where he would try and prove himself. And if we help our young men to prove themselves at home and to know that they are loved, and we affirm them to know that you're going to be the best, you're going to be whoever God has called you to be, you're going to be above and not beneath. If we can affirm our young men right in their homes, and we could show them that you're loved. You don't have to go and join a gang to be loved. You don't have to join a gang or commit some violence to find some respect. If we show them respect where they're at home as parents, if we can do that, if the society can do that from their babies, because we have to train these young boys to be men. We don't need to try and train them when they're already grown and they're already gotten their mindset on that's what I want and that's what I'm going to do, or this is what I have to do to achieve something. If we bring them up in the way that they should go, Even though they may stray, the Bible says they will always return. So we have to
Yes.
start it from they are boys, from they are little boys. I love you, I affirm you, and guess what? We really need to start letting young men know that they are loved. Many of them never hear it, and they want to feel loved. They want to feel a part of, and these are simple. If we can start with the simple things, it'll make a big difference with the social issues that our young men are dealing with. And Deborah, I must commend you for this platform on addressing young men, because I wish we had more of it. We have so many things for young ladies, and we're training our young ladies to be good wives and be good mothers, but who's training the young men to be good husbands and good fathers and good men of society and men of God? We need so much more of it, and I must commend you for this platform and what you're doing. I pray God may continue to bless you. My God bless you.
Thank you so much. Yes. And thank you, Leonardo. He says, I believe fathers play a major role in the home, but not many homes have fathers.
That's true.
I love that.
That's true.
And it is so true. You know, our fathers, a lot of them are just walking away. It's like, it's okay. I made this child. I did my part. I'm gone. That's not. And when you make a child, that's a blessing from God. And you don't have to get along with that mom. No. But that is your child.
That's right.
You should be with that child for the rest of your life. You know, it's like, I think his name is Darman. It's still some video that comes on, but, you know, it showed this little young man as he was young and he wanted to play basketball, and his mom had paid money to get it, and the dad came out to the basketball camp, and he was like, well, he needed that money back because he needed to do something with it. And the mom said no, and she said, you know, you have to step up, and he was like, no, I don't have it. You know, and some other little smart thing he said. But the young man, and then he ended up leaving. He didn't do anything for the young man, but he became a professional basketball player. And then, of course, here comes back the dad. Huh? I don't have time. You know, I don't have it. He wanted something from the son then. But, you know, our men need to step up. Yeah. You know, it's, you know, women, and I know there are some fathers that are doing what they are supposed to do and they're not tied to the moms, but for a huge part, they are not. But then you have moms and they work their fingers to the bone. They'll work 2 and 3 jobs, take care, make sure to get their homework done, and then they wonder why, well, when they get grown, why they always say, hey, mom, I'm going to buy my mom a house or whatever, because it's been the mom that's been there for them. Hey, we want dads to be able to get kudos too, but y'all got to step it up.
Yes. We need some mentors. We don't need them looking for mentors in the actors or in the singers. If we can have the mentors right in the home as the fathers, it would be an awesome thing.
Yes.
We really need some more male mentors right at home. Right at home. Yes.
Yeah, hello, Jocelyn and Peggy. Thank y'all for tuning in. And Shonda, thank you for tuning in. Okay, there are organizations. Are there any organizations in or around your community that are positively impacting young men? If so, can you tell us about some of them? And if not, why do you think that is?
Yes, we do have a few organizations that impact young men. We have one called the SHORE program, and that's funded by the Education Department, Ministry of Education in the Bahamas. And that program was formed to assist with young men that were in the educational streamline, but they became either did violent acts or were just not being able to conduct themselves properly in the regular educational streamline. So they were taken out of the regular education format and put into a program where they were taught to listen, you need to calm down with your violence. You need to have a different change of mindset. And that has helped, I can say, tremendously, because we have many young men who have come out of the program and can talk about the program and say how it has helped them. We also have another program called the Boys Industrial School, And this program is basically for young men that have committed offenses and they are too young to go to jail. So they are put in a reform institution where they can still get their education. And of course, they are also taught to have a change of mind, and they are given skills to help to control their actions, that they won't continue down that street of destruction. So that form of reformery is has been very helpful, and those are two of the major ones we have here in the Bahamas. But we also have some smaller groups that have been started independently, and of course they are non-profit organizations. And my husband also has started one called Impacting Sons. And I really think we need much, much, much more. I don't think we have enough. I think we need much more programs that will help curb young men and cause them to move in a more positive direction. And we need more men to stand up and not be afraid to mentor younger boys and younger men. Because we always have ladies that will mentor the younger ladies, and we'll have little classes and conferences and teach them how to walk, how to talk, how to promote themselves, how to educate themselves, how to become successful. But you don't hear much of it for young men, and the men are our leaders, and that is so important. And I really hope and pray that more persons would step up to the platform. So if you've been thinking about it and God gave rested on your heart, and you've just been procrastinating, please let procrastination out the door. Open the door and tell procrastination, you better get out, because you have to start some things that you were mandated to do, because lives are depending on it. We need our young men and our men to get in position and to stand their ground and to do what God has ordered them and instructed them to do. And that's to be good leaders, good husbands, good mentors, my God, good fathers. We need our men to step up. But yes, we do have a few of those programs, and I pray we have much more to come. And again, Deborah, I cannot stop congratulating you on my goodness. And it took, look at you. You had to step up and say, you know what, I see the need for this. And it's very, so badly needed.
Yes, and so I hope more people will step up, and that's why I keep trying to push this, because it's not what I'm presenting when I do these posts and everything. It's not just to help the young men, but it's also to equip everybody else so they can step up and help me assist the young men, because it needs to be done. I mean, you would think that I just think more people would step up, because I know I would want my daughter to marry someone that, knows how to act when he goes somewhere, knows how to dress, he's educated, he's not out there hanging on the street or whatever. So why not help them, because you can't do what you don't know how to do. And some of our young men are not being taught. It's not that they don't want to, or they just think, oh, why would I want to do that? But they haven't been taught, so.
Keyword, they haven't been taught. Keyword, not at all.
Okay, let's see. Leonardo says, I grew up with my sister and she did a great job, but I needed a man to teach me more about being a man. So I pray men step up to train the next generation of men. Amen.
Amen.
Me too. Well, thank you so much, Leonardo, for starting your program. That's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, the Build Your Best Life focuses on ensuring young men have an opportunity to develop their skills and talents. Can you please tell the audience what young people, specifically young men, need the most from their parents or their guardians?
To develop their skills and their talents?
Yes.
I think young men need you to just speak life over them as parents. Speak life. Proverbs 18:21, death and life is in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat the fruit thereof. So if you continue to speak death that's what you're going to reap. If you speak life over that young man, that's what you're going to see. You may not see it at first, because remember, once that seed goes in the ground, you don't see anything. You don't know what's going on under there. So you're speaking life over him. Yes, he may not be doing it at first, or he may not seem that he's understanding or wanting to follow what you're saying. But guess what? That seed is being planted and is taking root. So even as that seed is under the earth, you can't see when it's about to spring forward. You only see when it tips up and the leaves begin to bud. So it may take years. For some, it may not even take that long. But you must continue to speak life over the young men. Speak life. Don't speak doom. Don't speak gloom. And affirm them. If they're doing something, support them. Just like how you gave the example about the young man that was going to the game. His mother showed support. It would have even been so much more better if his father showed him so much support. He would have been able to even stand up even bigger as a young man. And young men need that fatherly support, or even a mentor support. They need that support. They need some affirmation, so they don't have to go out there and find anything in any place else or the wrong places. But they need to stay in a positive attitude and positive atmosphere. And if that can come from home, that is greatly needed and would be very influential for them wherever they would go. But it's the simple things, showing them love. And also, even if they're doing something, let them learn how to figure out some things on their own. Let them try and figure out some things on their own, because you're teaching them to be responsible. And if you always try and take care of their problems or fix their problems, they won't learn how to fix anything. But once they would have been able to achieve something, congratulate them. Let them know that they did well. Even if they may have failed, let them know that they would have done well because they tried. And that will keep a young man motivated to keep going. And he won't be saying, well, I don't need to do it because I failed. Because all they're looking for is some support. All they want to be is affirmed. And if we can do those simple things as parents, as guardians, it would help promote and help young men to move forward and achieve their goals. It would be so much better for them. And then you don't have to be complaining and say, oh, he ain't doing nothing, or he ain't trying, or he ain't. No, just say the simple, I love you, you can do it, you try and figure that out. Oh, you didn't get it, but guess what? I know you can do it again. Just affirm them and just continue to show them that you are behind them full squad. You are the greatest cheerleader. And it's amazing once you have somebody behind you. Like my husband may not be a mechanic, but if something happened to the car, and I'll be, honey, I know you can do it. I know you're gonna get it fixed. And he, well, I know I can't do this, but you know what? Well, anyway, she said I can do it, so I'm gonna keep on trying. I can't let her keep on doing this. So you show them support, man. Like they like their egos to be fanned. Right. So you continue to allow these young boys to feel like, oh my goodness, I'm growing up to be a good man. Simple things, just affirming them, supporting them, speaking life over them, and some of the simple things that we would have to do as parents. Simple.
It's very simple. Everybody can do that. Everybody, some of them already did it, but everybody need to put that in the comments. Speak life.
Speak life.
And I don't know if you can see the comment, DELARESE, but Leonardo said, yes, baby, love it. Yeah, you have to, just speak positive. It's so funny that you say that, because I was doing some research today, and it began to talk about speaking positive, and that's one thing that I've started trying to do. Like when I pray for one of my little grandbabies, I always say, let everybody speak positively over her and stop saying, negative things. Speak positive over her. Let her have a sweet spirit. Let her be a sweet baby. Yeah. Sweet baby. And, she has begun to do better. But they said that it takes 5 positive statements to overcome 1 negative statement.
Yes.
That's huge.
That's
so just
huge.
Think, if all you're doing is talking negative, you are destroying.
Totally.
5-1. So you have to say, good morning. You're doing great. One job, you're doing so wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. They come back home. How did you do? Well, I made a skill. My test was great. The next time you're going to make a B minus or B plus. You got to cheer them on.
Yes.
If we're going to do it, who's going to do it?
That's right. That's right. Let them get it from home. And they don't have to worry about anything. So if they hear any negative, they know they were already affirmed at home. They don't have to worry about even the friends. If the friends don't like you or no, the friends don't affirm you or cheer you on, they're going to go where they're appreciated, and that's at home. And that's something they should be appreciated at, and that's at home. Appreciated. Oh, yeah.
Be there for them. If nobody else, like you say, if it's the moms, a kin, whatever, if it's the dad, you're not with them, you still can go to whatever the event they're having, sit in the stand. You have to talk to anybody. Just cheer for your child. Let your child know you're there. You know, I had Pastor Cotton on from my church probably about a couple months ago, and he was saying like, he's real busy in ministry. But he said he had this thing with his son, you know, if he could only get there for 5 minutes or 30 minutes, and he said it was this thing that they would do with each other. He didn't show us what that was, but he said as long as he knew, his son knew that he was there sometime during that time, hey, that's all he needed. He knew he had his support.
Yes, that's all he wanted, the support. That could go such a long way. Such a long way. And it really saddens me when I see young men reaching out and they cannot find a male mentor, a male figure that they can go to. I had a young man who came to me, was doing Sunday school. This was a few years ago. And he asked me a few questions that I really thought that he should have asked a male. And he's my godchild. He's actually my oldest godchild. And I said to him, I said, you can't find a male to ask. He said, no, buddy, I can't find a male to ask. I need you to answer this question for me. And realistically, this was a very personal question, and I know he needed to speak to a male about it. So I spoke to another friend, a male friend, and I asked him to please speak with my godchild concerning this. But another thing I also understand is that in order for young men to find mentors and to find persons that they can look up to, they have to find these persons that are approachable. And if men don't make themselves approachable to other young men to even ask questions, they won't ever approach them or see them as a mentor, or see them as somebody that can help them with trouble or with situations they don't understand or they need help in. So making yourself accessible or even, I would say, approachable is very important in an aspect of looking for young men looking for mentors and guidance, and just trying to figure out some stuff. And like you would have said earlier, Deborah, a lot of them were never trained or never taught certain things, and we're expecting them to do things, but who's actually training them to do it the proper way? And if they're never trained, then what do we expect if we don't have persons training them, or clubs or conferences or places where they can go to be trained? What are we expecting if we're not doing anything?
Yeah, it's so sad that, you know, to me, you know, it doesn't take much. They're not asking for much, just a little, and then to think that they can't get that little bit, you know. And you know, some of them are in church, and you know, I never fail to ask the pastors when they come on, you know, well, young men were in church, they're not there now. Where are they? But when they were there, did you make yourself available to them? You know, just because you are a deacon or a pastor, that doesn't mean that you just sit there and you can't be usable for them. You are there to support the people. So, you know, have a smile on your face. Get to know those young men by name, whatever. And, you know, that way they know, well, you know, that person looks friendly. You know, I'm not afraid to walk up to them and ask them a question or whatever. It's like my husband, you know, everybody like Deacon Dan, but he's always approachable. He stands at the front door. He greets them and they talk to him and they feel like, well, they can ask Deacon Dan anything. So, you know, I know it's possible to do.
Oh, That's great.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. 'Cause just like yourself, I'm sure young ladies could come up to you and ask you questions because you make yourself approachable. And but I have learned that everybody isn't a mentor. But thank God we have mentors, and it's amazing. God made us women to be nurturers. So when we see something out of line or something needs to be taken care of, we're gonna quickly run to attend to it. So
Right. Yep.
we're hoping the men would um, try and groom our young men as well.
Yeah. I mean, and that's anything. I don't know why I just thought about this, but I remember with my oldest son, and I was a single mom, and it was like, "Oh, I don't know how to tie a tie." So I was like, hey, I was at church, y'all teach me how to tie a tie. I wasn't going to go up there every Sunday asking somebody to tie my son a tie. I was going to ride at night.
I guess we're gonna try and learn how to get those ties tied.
Right. Yeah.
Wow, that is awesome.
Well, I know me, and I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but I'm just trying to make you feel like, hey, you can step it up too. You can step it up.
Oh my goodness.
Coach Ricardo Miller was on. That was in January. He made this profound statement that growing children need growing parents. Growing children need growing parents, and we thought, wow.
Yep.
So, what are some helpful tips that you feel that parents can use to help them to grow, so they can grow as their children grow and be able to support them and help them along the way?
That is a profound statement. I have to say it one more time. Could you say growing children need growing parents? Did I say it correctly?
Yes.
When I experienced that with my daughter, everybody usually say I usually have full eyes, but my eyes tear wide open even bigger. She said to me or asked me a question I was never able to ask when I was her age. Or I wasn't able to do when I was her age. So that shows where we have to grow as our children grow. What I was able to do or what happened in my era isn't going to be happening with my children, or even if I look at my parents. Every generation changes, and in order for you to keep up with your children and to keep that relationship with your children, you have to be able to change with the different eras, and you have to be able to understand where they're coming from. And with doing that, you have to be able to not only talk to your children, but listen to your children. Many times parents talk to their children, but they're not listening. You have to listen to hear what that child is saying and understand what it is that they are trying to say to you. I had a situation where I had to tell, it wasn't my daughter, but it was another young person, something that I said, I don't agree with this. I said, and this shouldn't be done. And she said, but no, I think that it should be done, and I don't agree with you. So I said, okay, I want you to explain to me why you feel that you're doing it right. And I allowed her to explain it to me. When I was her age, I couldn't explain that to my parents. When they say no, that was no, and I better put my and go sit down. That was it. But if we do that this time, a lot of children are going to rebel. They're going to go with friends. They're just going to act out, and they're going. So growing as you growing as your children grow is very important, because it allows you to stay on I wouldn't say an even platform, but a cohesive platform where you are able to relate and understand what they're doing, why they're not doing it, and not be so bogged down and just saying, I'm trying, but this child isn't getting it. I'm doing, but this child isn't getting it. Even with the language, I had to keep up with the language. Because when they say something like, wow, what you say? Like when I first learned the minute, I haven't seen you in a minute. I was like, but I just see you a second ago. What you talking about a minute? She said, no, mommy, that means a long time ago. So you so you have to keep up. You have to keep up with the language. You have to keep up with the language, with the language. You have to keep it up. You have to keep up. And you have to, most importantly, listen to your children so that you can stay on par and keep up with them as they grow. You grow as they grow. But the key word I would say nowadays, have a conversation and actually listen and actually hear their opinion on situations. And it's amazing. Once you hear their opinion, be like, wow, I see why you think that that's right. And then I was able to give my opinion, and she was like, wow. She said, okay. She says, Deli, I think you're really talking a lot of sense. I didn't look at it like that. And I said, yes. And we were able to have a good, clear conversation. I didn't beat her down. I didn't make her feel that she was wrong. I just wanted to know exactly why she said what she said and why she felt that she was right in doing what she was doing. And after we would have had a good, clear conversation by me allowing her to speak and she allowing me to speak, but we were fine. And we just grew, like just grow with each generation. You got to grow with them. Other than that, you will just be like, oh my God, where they come from, what they doing? They must be aliens. I don't know what. But the generations just change. It just shifts.
And they talk different, they act differently, they speak
Yes.
differently.
And I'm like, what's wrong with you? And then I know, oh, well, this is how it's done now. This is what it, but I never used to do that. I never used to say that. I used to go there, go those places, and it's just changing.
Yeah, we have to keep up with them. But what you said is, I think, is just so very key when you said listening, because well, me being older in my generation, it was like, you know what? You don't say nothing. Just be quiet. Listen to me. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, you just doing all the talking. But now they are so more advanced, and like you say, they think, they have a different perspective. They are all on social media. They see different things going on. So you have to listen to them to get their perspective. And then it's also important to listen, because a lot of times they are crying out for help. They want you to know something is going on. They're trying to tell you in so many words, but you're so busy yapping, you not hearing what they're trying to tell you. So we have to listen.
Well, Deborah, that was very powerful what you said there, and I found that to be very true. A lot of young persons, if you don't listen to them, you don't hear their cry for help. And many of them cry for help in what they're doing, in their attitudes and in their actions. They're crying for help. And if you just sit down and ask them and talk to them why they do what they do, and why you're getting a response, you would hear the pain or the hurt and the cry that they're yelling. They're silently screaming for help, but nobody's listening to them to help them. And that's very powerful.
All right. Yeah, and I'm going to read some of these comments. We have some very powerful comments, and I thank y'all so much for being engaged. This is what I love when y'all have those comments coming, because this helps me. Leonardo says, I've discovered men who are unable to mentor, in most cases, haven't had men in their lives to mentor them, so they shortchange the next generation. Wow. That's so true.
Yeah. Wow.
And then he also says, we must remember we are children's parents and not their friends. Of course, we can build a relationship with them, but help them to understand we are parents.
Yes. Like I had to remind my daughter, I said, I'm in charge. I said, I will listen to you, but I am in charge, not you. I'm in charge, honey.
Yep, you're not running nothing. You're not running nothing up in here. I'll listen, however.
I'll listen. Whilst you are under my jurisdiction, I'm in charge, my dear.
Yeah, but they, they are so smart. I love it though, but they have bring some good perspective because, I have parents on and educators and the youth also. And so I've been talking about guys and how to treat girls on dates. And then I was on Coach Ricardo's radio station Monday night on 30th. And so we were talking about the same thing. And so, I'm still saying, guys, you need to pay for the meals. Guys, you need to pay for the meals. Guys, you need to open the doors. And so I was on with the OCs, the original Christians from Dallas. And so one of them was telling me, yeah, but Miss Deborah, these girls don't want you to do that since the what is it? What's the movement? Something me?
The movie?
Movement.
Oh, movement.
Yeah. What's up about women? But he was saying that a lot of ladies don't like you to open the door for them. They're like, what do you think? I can't open my own door. I can open my door. And he said, then when you try to pay for them, Miss Deborah, they like, oh, you think I don't have money? I have money. I said, well, you don't want to get in an argument with them, But I mean, see, that was good for me to hear that perspective because I'm just saying, hey, you need to pay. But if they feel that strongly, you don't want to get into an argument. You just pay for yours and they'll pay for it.
You see how the generation has changed?
Yes.
Because my daughter said that to me as well. She's 21 and she said, Mommy, I'm not gonna wait for the gentleman to come and open my car, the car door every time I go into the car. I can open my own car door. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, allow him to open it if he wants to open it. But I can open my own car. I said, okay.
But let him treat you like a lady.
Yes. If he wants to open the door, let him. Oh, but I don't have time to stand there and wait for him to come around and to come to get the door. I was like, oh, okay.
Tell me something.
Generations have sure changed.
I know. Let's see here. Oh, Western women's movement. Okay, thank you. So why is it so easy for a woman to mentor a younger woman that it is for a man to do for a young man? I see the falling away of young men rapidly because no one is mentoring them or calling them out on their mess. Amen to that. Yes.
That is true.
I don't know why, man. Y'all need to get up on here and y'all need to share this video so they can tell me why.
Why?
I really want to know why.
Why? I think I've asked my husband that before he started the program, and it's more or less men just having the courage to step out. They always see women do it, and we are naturally mentors because God has created us to carry and, of course, care for our children, and that's something we normally do. Even if we see somebody that's not our children, we just have that nature to care. And the men were created to lead and be in charge. And a lot of times when they feel that they have to show that they're caring or they're showing some concern, it makes them feel that they're weaker. But it makes you look like you're stronger when you can actually go and help a young man or mentor a young man or stand up and say, you know what, I'm going to start a program where I'm going to help young men. And a lot of our men, I would hope, would take that courage to step out and do it, because I'm sure that God has impressed upon many men to go and do programs or even to reach out to a young boy or somebody you see that's in trouble, even a godchild or a neighbor or a friend's son, that he may not be doing it, but you're able to do it. And I think I pray that we would have more men stepping out after your program, Deborah. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Thank you. Y'all make sure y'all share. 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 Anybody else think they need the information, please share. They can help, because we have a lot of professional businessmen, and we know that they know how to be organized. They know the right way to dress and to talk and to act. So that they will probably make great mentors. It's just taking the time or whatever, but they would. I think that would be wonderful.
Yes, it would. Take the time and do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
All right. I appreciate you so much coming on here, DELARESE. This has
Thank
been
you.
wonderful, some good information, and I love the engagement we had today. But
Yes.
what are some tips that you would like to leave with our audience before you go?
I would say the simple things matter. If you are a parent, remember to say I love you to your children. Many times we do things that we say, well, oh, I'm showing them that I love them and I've worked so hard, but hearing it along with the actions goes a long way. And you don't have to have a lot of money or try and pay for your child to make your child feel like they are loved. It's the simple things that really count, the simple things. And that's affirming your child, letting them know that they're loved, letting them know that you support them and what they do and things that they would want to achieve, that you're behind them. And I think the greatest thing I can say is just affirm your child and love them. It's the simple things that count. It's the simple things that matter. And for those of you that are listening and you have been impressed to mentor a younger person, please tell procrastination to get out and go ahead and do it. Because you will be surprised what you can do, what seed you can implant to cause that young person to be the next president, to be the next prophet, to be the next minister, what the avenue that you would have to do or play a part in that person's life. So stop holding up somebody else's life because you refuse to do what God impressed upon you to do. Remember, the scripture says, one plant, one waters, and God gives the increase. So whatever part you have to play in somebody's life, do your part and just leave everything else to God. But don't ever allow it to go past and say, you know what, I should have done it and I didn't do it. And say, what if I had? Do it. Ask God to give you the strength. Ask Him to give you the courage and just do it. Because guess what? If it were you, you would want somebody to help you. You would want somebody to lead you. You would want somebody to mentor you. So let's do it for somebody else. And men, go out and help our young boys. We want to see the leaders. We want to see our boys grow up to be great, successful leaders and men in our society. Great men. And we are looking for somebody to teach them, somebody to mentor them, and they are looking up to you guys. So don't let them down. And Deborah, thank you so much. I had an awesome time.
Thank you for coming home. Thank you. You have been wonderful. Let's see here. We got somebody new on here. Felicia, what are your views on the saying that older women are to train the younger woman, but there's a lapse in the generation where the older women are maybe experiencing some sort of displacement and are disengaged, and a generation of younger women miss the mark and are struggling with adulting, motherhood, maternity, maturity, spiritual growth, family, peer pressure?
That's a wide question. But one thing I can say is we do need our older ladies to mentor and train our younger ladies, because again, that's how they're going to know what to do, and that we need to be trained just like how we put our kids in school. They have to be trained in order to come into society. And our older women have already passed through those stages, so now they have to train up the younger women to come. But then we have some of the younger women who get stuck because they don't enjoy their childhood because they grow up too fast, or they have children and they now have to become adult all of a sudden. So we have some generations that have come up, but they never enjoyed their childhood. So now when they become adults and their children are now growing up, they can't mentor because they were never able to go through the growing up stage. They had to suddenly take on adulthood, and that was something they weren't prepared for. So you have some ladies that are not prepared to mentor, or they are trying to now be that child that they missed out being on when they're actually supposed to be helping to groom and mentor the child. So they're now trying to compete with the younger girls when they're actually supposed to just trying to be grooming them and helping them. So yes, we do have a problem in some of those areas because a lot of persons get stuck coming up that process of life.
All right. Yep, that's why we need to try to stay young, young ladies as long as we can. Stay children,
Yes.
stay in your place, because hey, once life hits you, that's it.
That's it. Enjoy your childhood. Enjoy your young adult life. Enjoy your singleness until it's your time and you go through the process and you're ready for it. No need to rush. Learn as much as you can.
Yes. Thank you for that question, Felicia. That was great. And I thank you all for tuning in. And thank you so much, DELARESE. I have enjoyed this, girl.
Thank you. Thank you,
We have been
Deborah.
together again.
Yes, Deborah. Thank you so much for having me. Totally
All
enjoyed
right.
this
And
forum.
I know you're a coach as well. So do you want to tell people how they can get in contact with you?
Yes, they can also find me on our Hold It Together page we have on Facebook, and that's a marriage forum we have. So it's called Hold It Together Marriage Forum. Or you can contact me by email, DELARESEALLEN and that's DelareseAllen@gmail.com. Or you can send me a WhatsApp 556-2398. And that's area code 242-556-2398. But it was a joy and it was a pleasure sharing with you all. And of course, Deborah, I pray that you may continue to keep up this great work that you're doing, helping so many of our young people.
Thank you so much. And everyone, please please share this video and continue your comments. Please visit my website. It's on the screen, www.buildyourbestlife.org. You can find out more about my platform. I release a blog every Monday. I have a calendar of events out there. I have a web store where you can get an autographed copy of my book, Build Your Best Life. And it has basic principles to help our young men overcome those obstacles and also enrich our mentors and parents and coaches to help you assist our young men. So please go out and visit my website. I thank you so much for tuning in. And always remember, as you go on your journey to be a better you, there will be rough terrain, detours, distractions. But keep going. Don't let any of those negative aspects of your journey stop you. Though they may slow you down, keep going to be a better you so that you can build your best life. Love you, bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.